Alright guys, finally got out in the woods for a little while. Kind of late in the day. Hopefully the sun will stay up and you guys get to see all this. But today I just want to show you one of my tents. This tent's unique. It's called the Tentsile tree tent. This one's brand new. I've got two of these. This is their new design. I want to try it out. But this tent is for those that basically don't want to sleep on the ground. Maybe you want to sleep over a creek. Maybe it's snowing outside. But what we're going to do is we're going to say this is not ideal. We got two larger trees. We got one smaller tree. You usually don't want to hook up to a smaller tree. This one's pretty alive. I checked it earlier. We had a lot of listeria around these trees. But it seems like most of them are in good condition. So we're going to go ahead and hook up to these. We got this tree here, this tree back here, and this tree here. Let me grab the tent real quick. We'll get started. Again, it's brand new, so I'm going to have to open up some of the packaging, so it might take me a little bit longer. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to speed this video up after this point. You can see the tent being put up in fast motion. After that, I'll slow it back down. We'll walk around the tent and check it out, check out the inside and how stable it is. As you can see, this is not a backpacking tent. This thing weighs probably 30 pounds or better, but it's got to be sturdy to hang in a tree. So let's get it together. Okay, so initially I set the new one up wrong. Before, on the old one, the poles went on the inside, which they still do, but they start on the outside. Before I had it ran through the inside on these loops in here. And I guess that's where you can hang your gear, that type of thing. Now, it goes up through this seam, all the way across to the seam, and then back into two little holes in the back that keeps it in place. But by far I like the new setup. Now, trick is getting the rain fly on this thing, because you got to get it all the way up over top of it when it's this high. So we'll speed the video back up and see how bad I feel with this. right, again, a little more trial and error. The new way of setting this up looks like you can set it up a couple different ways. It came with some tie-down straps to where you can tie these from string to the ground. And this big flap in the middle, you can tie either probably to another tree in front of you or to the ground as well to give you a little bit of a rain fly. And you can use this whole thing as a rain fly. It's kind of like a tarp underneath it. You know, you can sit there at night, get up in your tent when you want to go to sleep. But the way I had these originally hooked up, I ran them both together underneath there. And even though you could still get into the tent, it was a little rough. You had to really pull on it. I didn't like that, so I'm going to leave it like this for now. But all in all, looks pretty good. The sun's hitting it right on the side right now. I don't know about you guys, but it blends in pretty well out here. I think if you ran up on it, you probably wouldn't even see it until you got around, you know, real close to it. But it gets you up off the ground. If it does rain at night, you don't have to run and jump in your tent. You can just go underneath it, have a couple of stools under there, slide all your gear under there. There are places underneath this, and I'll show them to you here in just a minute, that you can hang your gear, your boots from, that kind of thing as well. That way, if it does rain at night again, you can have a place for your gear to stay dry. But I'm going to shut it off for a second, and then we'll go inside the tent, have a look around. I'll show you the different tie-down points and kind of how I fastened everything together. So let's get that together. All right, so I stepped back away from the tent a little ways. I just want to kind of walk up on it and see how well it hides itself out here. Now, bear in mind, you know, it's still wintertime in my area, and the foliage is not all that great. But let's walk up on it here and see what it looks like. The yellow straps, or the orange straps there, really stand out. Might have to go with some green ones. I think you can order different types. Now here's the ratcheting part. As you see, it just binds around this tree, and the ratchet strap itself just binds to the tent. And once you get all of them in place, you just ratchet it up pretty tight. It even gives you instructions, you know, on how to do it on each one of these. But you want to make sure that this locks right here. If not, you could be in danger of this thing coming loose at night, and that we definitely don't want. Take a look underneath real quick. You can see there's plenty of these. What I tried to do was hook these two together, and they do fine like that, but it really makes it hard to open that. So you can see you got a little hole down here. These are where you sleep, so it's room for 3 people. And they do make a ladder attachment. It will hook here and here, so if you want to put this up real high into a tree, you can actually hook these together as well. But I've seen people put these up real high in trees. I mean, even the ladders, they have to jump up to them sometimes. It's crazy. But you can see this will go over a stream, you know, so you can have half of it over land, half of it over a stream, however you want to set it up. It's pretty versatile. They say you can even put this thing on the ground and do it that way as well. I have not ever tried that, but it seems like it's very possible. But again, it's a very versatile tent. You can get several different rain flies. You know, as you can see, I chose the one that's best suited for my area. This version is called the Predator. Looks pretty good. I think when you got full foliage out here, you'll hardly be able to see this thing at all. We'll go ahead and jump up in here. That's what it looks like on the inside. Of course, you see you got your mesh. You can fully zip up this, keeps all the bugs out and everything. So this might get a little rocky, me jumping up in here, but looks like I got some leaves and stuff in here. But as you can see, I'm just on one side of it here. I wish you got plenty of room. Put another person over here, another person in the front. You got looks like some mesh at the bottom too. It's pretty sturdy. I guess you can put some gear out there, whatever you want. This is what I was talking about here. You can unzip this and hang your boots out once you get in here. It keeps everything dry, but it's pretty comfy. The only problem that I've had out of this tent is the first version, where these poles go through, they would collapse on you at night with only 2 people in here, because it shifted the weight in a way where it caused it to pull to one side. It would go that way or this way, left or right, and just collapse in on you. The way this new design is, it won't do that. It's really secure now. But the first design, you know, it's bound to have problems, and I'm bad about always getting the first thing when it comes out. But as you can see, you got some tie down bungees at the end there. It's just made for you to push your gear back in there. Plenty of room to store additional gear. You can see how much more room I have up there. You know, I could even scoot back a little bit further if I needed to. But you know, you can hang your gear from the bottom. You can, you know, you can put it all in here. This thing, I believe, supports up to 800 some odd pounds, so you could easily fit 3 adults in here, and quite a bit of gear hanging off of it as well. I actually think that's just a guideline, and it can support way more than that. This is rip stop, so even if, you know, it does rip in one place, it's designed to stop, so you know you won't fall through it. But all in all, I hope you guys like this. I think it's time for me to take a nap. I hope you like this review. First look at the Stingray Predator tree tent.